Hey everyone, and welcome. Now, when you think about the global capitals of AI, you're probably thinking Silicon Valley, right? Or maybe Shenzhen. But today, we're going to look at a completely different kind of success story. It's a carefully planned government-backed strategy that's quietly turning Austria into a European hub for some really specialized deep tech AI. So, what's their secret sauce? Let's dive in and break down Austria's AI blueprint.
And if you're thinking this is some small boutique operation, you might want to look at this number, 92 million euros. Now that's not the national AI budget. That is the Series B funding for one single Austrian startup, a company called Prewave. An investment like this totally shatters the idea that smaller countries can't compete in the global tech race. It tells us something really serious is brewing in the heart of Europe.
So how in the world did they pull this off? Well, that's what we're going to unpack today. We're going to walk through their entire playbook. First, we'll look at the national blueprint itself, then the actual infrastructure they're building, what we're calling the AI factory. We'll see how it's all funded, meet the amazing startups doing the work, and then we'll take a little peek into the autonomous future they're already building.
Okay, first up, the national AI blueprint. Let me be clear, Austria's rise in the AI space is no happy accident. It's the direct result of a very deliberate multi-year national strategy they call the digital decade. It's all about building a world-class deep tech ecosystem right from the ground.
And when we talk about commitment, we're talking about serious money. This isn't just some fluffy mission statement. It's a fully funded national priority. You're looking at over 4 billion euros just for the digital decade roadmap alone. That's on top of over 16 billion in R&D spending every single year. And that 1.1 billion for the research premium, that's a tax break specifically designed to get private companies to pour money into their own AI research. This right here is the foundation.
And this number shows you just how obsessed they are with innovation. Austria dedicates 3.35% of its entire GDP to research and development. That's one of the highest rates in the whole European Union. It's precisely why the EU officially calls them a strong innovator. They are absolutely punching above their weight.
But you know, money is only part of the story. This strategy is also all about people. The government has these agreements with public universities to funnel a third of their budgets directly into STEM subjects. And what's the result? Well, Austria is now the second highest producer of STEM graduates in the EU. They're creating this incredible sustainable talent pipeline to feed all these new AI ventures.
So, you've got the strategy, you've got the talent, but for AI to really thrive, you need raw power. And that brings us to the next part of the blueprint, building what we're calling the AI factory. This is where Austria is investing huge amounts of money into the high-performance computing infrastructure that you absolutely need to compete on a global scale. And they have a crystal-clear timeline. This AI factory, or AIAT, is a $95 million project that's basically a one-stop shop for AI startups. It's going to offer support, a physical lab space for collaboration, and, this is the big one, by 2027, access to the MUSICA supercomputer. We're talking a full-scale domestic GPU cloud. This single move solves one of the biggest headaches for any small AI company.
So why is this such a game changer? Because training truly powerful AI models takes an insane amount of computational horsepower. That's what we call high-performance computing, or HPC. By building its very own supercomputer, Austria isn't just giving its startups a cool tool. It's ensuring its own digital independence. This is all about national sovereignty in the age of AI.
Okay, so you have incredible infrastructure and brilliant people, but they still need fuel to get off the ground, right? And that brings us to the growth engine, the part where Austria has created this amazing synergy between public funding and private venture capital.
What this chart shows us is a remarkably healthy ecosystem. The government is basically planting the seeds. More than 2/3 of these deep tech startups get public funding to start, but then the private market is proving them right. Private investors are jumping in, and a whopping 76% of these companies are confident enough that they're already planning their next big funding round. This isn't just government spending, it's smart investing that's creating real momentum.
And that private money is coming from some really serious players. You've got these domestic powerhouses like Speed Invest and deep tech specialists like EQ Venture who just know the local landscape inside and out. But what's really telling is that international investors are now flying in, eager to get a piece of the action. Yeah, the secret's officially out.
So, we've looked at the high-level strategy. Now let's zoom in a bit. Let's get our feet on the ground and meet the trailblazers, the actual startups who are turning all this policy and funding into something real and groundbreaking.
First up, you have to see this, a company called Blackshark.ai. They're based in the industrial city of Graz,
And they're doing something that sounds like science fiction. They are creating a photorealistic 3D digital replica of the entire planet. They use AI to process just unimaginable amounts of satellite and aerial imagery.
I mean, the scale here is just mind-boggling. They've already rendered over 1.5 billion buildings. And this isn't just for video games. This tech is being used for everything from serious urban planning to incredibly sophisticated flight simulators for training real pilots. It's a perfect example of high-end, industrial-grade AI.
Next is Prewave. Remember that company with the €92 million funding round? This is them. Their mission is to make global supply chains more resilient. Their AI scans millions of data sources in 50 different languages to spot over 140 different kinds of risk, everything from financial problems to natural disasters. And they're doing it for huge clients like IKEA and Red Bull. And then you've got XUND, which shows off another one of Austria's secret weapons, excelling in highly regulated industries like health tech. See, instead of viewing strict EU regulations as a problem, they've turned it into a huge competitive advantage. Their medical AI is certified as a Class 2A medical device. That's the gold standard in Europe, which allows them to legally provide things like patient symptom checks and health risk assessment.
So companies like Blackshark, Prewave, and XUND show us what's possible right now. But Austria is already building for tomorrow. And that future is all about a huge shift in how we think about AI, moving away from AI as a simple tool and towards AI as an autonomous agent.
So what does that actually mean? Well, this slide breaks it down perfectly. The old AI was what you'd call a point solution. You had to tell it exactly what to do every single step of the way. The new paradigm is an agentic ecosystem. Here, you give the AI a complex goal, and it figures out and executes all the different steps needed to get there, all by itself.
And companies like DeepOpinion are already leading the way here. Their AI agents can take a big goal like, say, process this insurance claim, and automatically break it down. It extracts the data, checks it against the policy, runs a fraud check, and then, without any human clicking a button, it triggers the final payment. This is cognitive automation, and it is a complete game changer for businesses.
And all of this brings us to one final, really important question. You know, in a world that's dominated by the move fast and break things culture of other tech hubs, Austria has deliberately chosen a different path. It's specialized, it's regulated, and it's built on a solid foundation of public infrastructure. So is it possible that this methodical, deliberate approach is the real blueprint for building a sustainable AI future?
Just a quick heads up for you all. The information we've shared today was put together using a mix of manual and AI-powered research. So it's always a good idea to verify the accuracy for yourself.
And that's the blueprint for Austria's incredible journey into AI. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and we'll catch you on the next one.